libraries in Alberta subscribe to what's called the Statement of Intellectual Freedom, which is about allowing all persons to access intellectual material, regardless of age. And generally in that statement, it points to the Charter, the Section 2 Charter rights, freedom of expression and thought, etc., all that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering if you, in your consultation with library groups so far, or your department's consultation, has that issue come up as a concern for librarians, and have you considered, I guess, the implications of that? Are you willing to use the notwithstanding clause if somebody legally challenges this bill on charter grounds?
Sure. I'll just take a look at a couple of the books that have already been very great fanfare when we've had this discussion publicly. So this book, I should say before I show it, some folks might not want to see this. It is incredibly graphic. This is one of the books that is found in many of our libraries. It's called Gender Queer, and it gives a description of how two seemingly underage boys can perform fellatio on each other. This is not a question of freedom of expression or censorship. This kind of material can be very damaging to young children that see it as a cartoon. This is adult content. There is a mass of social science data that shows access to explicitly sexual graphic material for children in ages of development can have incredibly detrimental effects on their sexuality going forward and their actions. This is a responsible path forward. This is what Albertans, families, and parents expect. So we will have a moderate and temperate approach. These books will remain in libraries. They will be behind counters. And if somebody truly thinks that it's a question of freedom of expression for a 7-year-old to learn from these books how to perform on each other, then I think that we have a very different understanding of what freedom of expression is. And I would be surprised to find anyone in 1982 that understood the charter being passed, that what it meant was 7-year-olds need access to pornography as a result of it.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that they need access, but I'm just arguing, or I'm asking if you are prepared for a legal challenge, would you be willing to use a notwithstanding clause on those grounds?
I'm not aware of anyone suggesting that it's a freedom of information for 7-year-olds to have access to pornography. These rules exist across our society already. Obscenity laws have always existed in our society. Right now, you cannot go to a corner store and legally buy pornography unless you can show identification over the age of 18. So this is a bare minimum of what I think parents expect in our society today.